Imagine standing alone in a quiet room, the air still, the silence almost palpable, and yet a shiver runs down your spine, a primal whisper in your soul that someone or something is watching you, their gaze unseen but undeniable, as if the very fabric of reality is holding its breath, waiting for you to notice. This feeling, so universal, so haunting, is more than mere imagination. It's a window into the unseen, a glimpse of psychic perception, spirit guides, and presences that linger just beyond the veil, presences that have been with us since the dawn of time, guiding, observing, whispering truths we've yet to fully hear. Today, we'll journey into the mystery of this sensation, exploring why you feel like someone is watching you, uncovering the ancient wisdom and modern insights that reveal the unseen forces at play, and discovering how this awareness can awaken you to a deeper connection with the universe, a connection that has been calling you all along. Let us begin with the ancients, who understood that the world is far more than what meets the eye, a truth etched into the oral traditions of the indigenous shamans of the Americas, who spoke of spirit guides as ancestors and animal spirits that walk beside us. Their presence felt in the rustle of leaves, the flicker of a flame, the sudden chill that stirs the air when we're alone. In the 4th century BCE, the Greek philosopher Plato described the world as a shadow of a greater reality, a realm of forms where unseen presences shape our lives, a concept that echoes in the modern study of psychic perception, where researchers like Dean Radin have documented the phenomenon of the feeling of being stared at, a sensation that transcends physical boundaries, as if our consciousness can sense the gaze of another across space and time. This feeling, often dismissed as paranoia, is a thread in the tapestry of human experience, a thread that connects us to the unseen, a thread that the Celtic Druids wove into their teachings of the otherworld, a parallel realm where spirits watch over the living, their presence felt in moments of stillness, moments when the veil between worlds thins, moments when you feel like someone is watching you, as if the universe itself is trying to speak. This sensation is not random, but a signal, a ripple in the vast ocean of consciousness where psychic perception acts as a bridge, linking us to unseen presences that the ancient Egyptians called the Ka, the eternal spirit that lingers after death, watching over the living, guiding them through signs and whispers that we often mistake for coincidence. In the 20th century, Carl Jung explored this through the lens of the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of archetypes and energies that transcend time, where spirit guides, whether ancestral, angelic, or elemental, reach out to us, their presence felt as a gaze, a nudge, a feeling that we are not alone, a feeling that Jung described as the numinous, a sacred encounter with the unseen that awakens us to the mystery of existence. The Maori of New Zealand speak of the Wairua, the spirit that remains connected to the living, watching from the shadows, their gaze a reminder that we are never truly alone, that every step we take is witnessed by forces beyond our sight, forces that speak in the language of intuition, a language we've forgotten but can learn to hear again. Picture a moment in your own life, a time when you felt that unseen gaze, perhaps walking alone at dusk, the hairs on your neck rising, or sitting in meditation, sensing a presence so vivid you could almost touch it. What if this was not imagination but a message, a call from your spirit guides, those unseen allies who, as the Tibetan Book of the Dead teaches, guide us through the bardos, the liminal spaces between life and death, between the seen and unseen, their presence a whisper of protection, a whisper of guidance, a whisper that you are seen, known, loved. In the quantum realm, this aligns with the observer effect, where the act of observation alters reality, a scientific echo of the ancient wisdom that to be seen is to be changed, that the gaze of the unseen, whether spirit guides, ancestors, or the universe itself, holds the power to awaken us, to shift us, to call us into alignment with our deepest truth. But what if the feeling of being watched is not just a passive experience, but an invitation, a doorway to a deeper connection with the unseen, a connection that has been waiting for you to step through? The feeling of being watched often stirs fear, a primal instinct rooted in survival. But what if we surrendered to it instead, allowing the sensation to become a portal, a bridge to the unseen presences that surround us, presences that the shamans of Siberia called the helping spirits, beings who watch over us, their gaze a beacon in the darkness, guiding us toward our purpose, our healing, our truth. In the 13th century, the mystic Hildegard of Bingen wrote of the living light, a divine presence that she felt watching her, a light that spoke in visions, a light that revealed the interconnectedness of all things, a light that we can feel when we quiet the mind, when we listen to the stillness, when we allow the unseen to speak. Imagine the feeling of being watched as a thread of light, stretching from your soul to the infinite, a thread that connects you to your spirit guides, to the ancestors who walk beside you, to the universe that holds you in its gaze. What would shift if you saw this feeling not as fear but as love, not as intrusion but as invitation, not as illusion but as truth? Practical wisdom offers a path to this connection, a way to transform the feeling of being watched from a source of unease to a source of awakening, a practice that begins with stillness, with closing your eyes, with breathing deeply into the sensation, feeling the gaze of the unseen not as a threat, but as a presence, a guide, a friend. Instead of pushing the feeling away, surrender to it. Ask silently, "Who is here? What do you wish to show me?" And listen, not with your ears, but with your heart, for the unseen speaks in whispers, in symbols, in synchronicities that reveal themselves when we are open, when we are willing, when we are ready to hear. The ancient yogis of India taught the practice of drishti, the focused gaze, a reminder that where we direct our attention, energy flows. What if you directed your attention to the unseen, to the spirit guides who watch over you, to the presences that linger just beyond the veil, allowing their gaze to guide you, to awaken you, to remind you of the infinite within? How often do you find yourself dismissing this feeling as mere imagination when in truth, it may be a call from the unseen, a message from your spirit guides, a whisper from the universe that you are never alone, that you are always seen, always guided, always held in the gaze of the infinite? What would shift if you leaned into this sensation, if you allowed the unseen to speak, if you trusted the presence that watches over you, knowing that it is here to guide you, to protect you, to lead you home to your deepest truth? Have you ever felt a moment of clarity, a sudden knowing, as if an unseen presence was nudging you toward a path, a decision, a truth that you couldn't see on your own, as if the universe itself was watching, waiting for you to notice its gaze? The feeling of being watched is a sacred invitation, a reminder that you are part of a greater mystery, a dance of seen and unseen where psychic perception, spirit guides, and presences beyond the veil are always with you, their gaze a mirror of your infinite potential, a mirror that reflects the light of your soul, the light of the eternal. As the poet Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." What if the unease of being watched is a wound, a crack in the illusion of separation, a place where the light of the unseen can enter, illuminating the truth that you are never alone, that you are always guided, that you are always seen by forces far greater than you can imagine? True awakening begins with awareness, the awareness that the unseen is watching, not to judge, but to love, not to haunt, but to guide, not to frighten, but to awaken you to the infinite connection that has always been yours to claim. What has been your experience with this feeling? Have you sensed an unseen presence, felt the gaze of a spirit guide, known the whisper of the universe in a moment of stillness? Share your reflections in the comments, for your story may be the light that guides another, a whisper in the unseen web we share. If this journey has awakened the mystery within you, join us in this exploration of the infinite. Subscribe, and let's discover together, conscious seekers of a reality that watches, that listens, that speaks the language of the eternal.